All right, let's dive right into this explainer. If you've ever stood in a flooring showroom under those aggressive fluorescent lights, completely paralyzed by a literal sea of tiny fuzzy squares, you know exactly how stressful picking a carpet can be. We're going to cut right through the sales pitches today and transform you into a savvy buyer who actually understands what makes a floor last.
Now think about your own home for a second. You probably know the dreaded, worn-out traffic lane in the hallway, or maybe the family room, right? It's that beaten path from the front door to the kitchen. But it might actually surprise you to learn why that flattening happens. We tend to assume the carpet is just old or walked on too much, but the reality? It's a bit more mechanical than that.
Here's the deal. A carpet really fails when its construction just can't bounce back from repeated pressure. It's not just the sheer volume of footsteps, it's the fiber's inability to recover its shape. Once it loses that structural resilience, it starts to mat down, shows every single footprint, and honestly, it never looks fully clean again, no matter how aggressively you vacuum the thing.
So here's our blueprint for today. We're covering the high-traffic trap, decoding carpet fibers, why construction and pile matter, the top brands of 2026, calculating true costs, and finally, hiring and installation.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the high-traffic trap and designing for real life.
You know, buying purely for softness is hands down one of the biggest mistakes you can make. It's so tempting to walk into a store, run your hand over the absolute plushest sample on the rack and say, yep, I want this everywhere. But if you ignore structural resilience, well, winter boots, active pets, and just everyday life will quickly grind grit deep into those fibers. That grit literally acts like sandpaper, permanently crushing your carpet into a traffic lane. We really have to design for real life here, not just the pristine showroom floor.
Moving right along to Section 2, decoding carpet fibers and looking at what actually makes a carpet last.
Okay, look at how the two most confused synthetic fibers stack up against each other. Nylon is the undisputed heavyweight champion for active households. It's the gold standard because it literally springs back under pressure. Polyester, on the flip side, is your budget pick. It feels incredibly soft and resists fading like a dream, but it's going to mat and flatten way faster under heavy use. Put polyester in a busy hallway, and you're going to see it age very, very quickly.
And this financial breakdown perfectly illustrates why nylon is the ultimate sweet spot. At a starting price of roughly $1.25 per square foot, it's only slightly more expensive than budget polyester, which sits at around $1, but nylon vastly outperforms it. Meanwhile, premium wool skyrockets all the way up to $3 a square foot. So for most of us, nylon absolutely hits that middle ground value for price and performance.
But hey, what if you have a house full of messy toddlers? Or maybe a puppy in training? If extreme stain resistance is your #1 priority, you've got to consider Triexta. Coming in at around $3 per square foot, it's engineered specifically to repel spills. It actually feels a lot like nylon, but it has this incredible built-in stain resistance that won't just wash out over time. A total lifesaver for spills.
All right, Section 3, construction and pile matters. Let's dig into the anatomy of a durable floor.
Because fibers are really only half the battle. For heavy traffic zones, think stairs or hallways, low pile or loop constructions, often called Berber, vastly outperform plush varieties. Think about it like this. A tight loop acts like a dense, compact shield. It just doesn't have the physical space to easily collapse. High pile and plush carpets? They have tall, open fibers. Sure, they give you that amazing, luxurious sink-in feel for a bedroom, but in a busy living room, they have way more room to bend, flatten out, and trap dirt. Another crucial factor here is density, which is exactly what it sounds like, how closely packed the yarns are. Tighter stitching essentially forces the fibers to brace against each other when walked on, instead of just folding over. Next time you're in a showroom, you can play carpet detective. Just push down with your finger and try to reach the backing. If your finger easily hits that hard backing, you know it's a loosely packed carpet that's going to show wear much, much sooner.
Which brings us to Section 4, top brands of 2026. Finding the right tool for the job.
Consider this table your ultimate cheat sheet. Instead of getting totally overwhelmed by brand names, just match the brand to your specific challenge. Like, if damp basements are your nightmare, Shaw Floors is the go-to. Looking for premium luxury that lasts decades? Karastan's wools are fantastic. For high traffic, Mohawk's Smart Strand brings that built-in stain resistance. Pet owners absolutely swear by Stainmaster's Pet Protect. And if you're on a tighter budget, Dreamweaver offers phenomenal value.
Let me highlight a very specific and frankly genius use case. If you're carpeting a basement or a room prone to spills, standard carpet backing just won't cut it. Liquids seep right through. Shaw's Lifeguard system actually stops liquid from ever reaching your pad or subfloor. I mean, it literally prevents mold, mildew, and rotting subfloors down the line. It's an absolute game changer for below-grade spaces.
Moving to Section 5. Calculating the true costs. We're going beyond the sticker price here. See that number? $1,158. That is the national average cost folks pay for a standard carpet installation. But keep in mind, total ranges can swing wildly from around $600 to well over $2,000, all depending on your square footage, the grade of the carpet, and just how complex your rooms are. Breaking the market down into these 3 tiers really helps balance your budget with your long-term expectations. Entry-level runs you about $2 to $4 a square foot installed, which is perfect for a low-traffic guest room. Mid-range bumps up to $4 to $8 and gets you that durable nylon we talked about, great for family spaces. And premium, at $8 to $20, unlocks advanced materials like wool or triexta, giving you lifespans well over 15 years.
But here's where they get you. You absolutely have to account for hidden installation costs. Your quote might not automatically include the padding, which starts at $1 a square foot. Need to replace baseboards? Tack on a few $100. Wrapping stairs takes serious skill and can cost up to $25 a step for box stairs. And if they pull up the old carpet and find a damaged subfloor, brace yourself, because hourly repair rates will significantly bump up your final bill. Finally, Section 6, hiring and installation. Let's protect that investment. Look, good carpet care really isn't complicated, but you do have to be consistent. Faithfully executing these 3 steps stops hidden grit from grinding away at your fibers like a cheese grater. Vacuuming 2 to 3 times a week is your absolute first line of defense. Spot clean spills immediately so they don't chemically bond. And this is huge. Scheduling a professional deep clean every 12 to 18 months is actually required by many major brands to keep your warranties valid. Don't skip that one. If you do all that, 15 to 20 is the number of years a premium carpet can beautifully survive in your home. Whether you go with a dense nylon for a chaotic hallway or a plush wool in the master suite, matching the right fiber to the room and sticking to that maintenance routine ensures your floors are really going to go the distance.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with one final question to chew on. Are you buying your next carpet for the pristine showroom floor or for real life? It's time to take a hard look at your living room, analyze your family's actual traffic patterns, and choose a system that works exactly as hard as you do. Thanks for hanging out with me, and happy shopping.